Hi, this is Jeanette, and welcome to The Bridge Within. Thank you for being here. The last video, I spoke about David Wilcock, and in that video, I mentioned the Bluebeam Project. And I would like to talk about that today because I believe a few years ago I had a dream about it. And I'm going to tell you about the dream, and you can be the judge whether or not I was dreaming about the Bluebeam project, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments and any dream that you may have had that would be interesting. So I went over the Bluebeam project in that last video, but in case you're not going to watch it, I'll just go over it real quickly. Bluebeam project is a technology where they can make us see, feel, and hear things that aren't real. And I think if they add like real items, like if they're going to do a fake space war, they can add, um, our UFOs, which we have reverse engineered, and along with holographic UFOs, and they can use the voice of God technology to help us hear things and amplify the sounds and hear just hear all these things that would go along with whatever way direction they're going to take this blue beam technology to use against us. And then they can also use explosives, and they can also use the Havana technique, the Havana syndrome technology. And that's where they can make you feel things, amplify those feelings like fear, joy. They can they can do anything like that. Those are really powerful tools. So the way I understand, at the time I had the dream, I was surprised I had the dream because the way I understood it, so many people knew about the Blue Beam project that the bad players in this world weren't going to use it because they felt like not enough of us would fall for it. But I'm now hearing chatter that the Blue Beam technology is back on the table. So back in couple years, 3, 4, 5 years ago, they were talking about either having a space alien war or having the second coming of Christ, or if you're in a different part of the world, it would be whatever being or deity is equivalent to Christ for you. And they could have you feel that love and that peace and that joy with that Havana technology, and they can put the voice of God in your ears, and you will really believe that you are hearing your Savior, and then the hologram, you really could not tell that from real life. It's very real looking. So anyway, I'm going to tell you my dream, and in my dream, I don't know any of these people I'm with in real life, but I felt like I knew them in my dream. And we were in a penthouse looking above Seattle, and we were looking over Lake Union and the city, and you could see the Space Needle. It was beautiful. It was just lovely. We had nice food, it was good company, and we were just mingling and really enjoying each other and the view. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these alien spacecraft came floating over the city and started attacking it. It was so frightening. There was explosions going off, and you could see the spacecraft flying all over the place, flying right in front of our window, the window that we were near. It was so scary. It just felt like the end of the world. It felt like the War of the Worlds. And so I became so frightened that I ran around to the back of the couch and tried to fit underneath it, with the space only being that high. And I tried and I tried and I tried to get under there, but there's no way I was going to fit under there, but I sure did try. And then all of a sudden, in the peak of my panic, I had a thought. Oh, this is fake. This isn't real. and a big sense of peace came over me. And then I started to worry about my mother. I said, oh my gosh, I've got to call my mother because she is going to be so frightened. So, I picked up my cell phone and I tried to call my mother. And of course, I couldn't get through because everyone was worried about their loved ones and everyone was trying to check in on their loved ones. And then I woke up and I thought it was interesting at the time that I was most worried about my mother because at that time I would have been more apt to worry about my children and my grandchildren and would have been frantically trying to get a hold of them, even though they do okay. But, I'm still a mother and they're still, in my mind, they're still my babies. So, but now I kind of understand because now today, if that were to happen, I would be most worried about my mother because my father passed away last year and she's all alone now. She does okay on her own, but she doesn't have my father anymore. And they were very self-sufficient. They did, they really wouldn't accept help. They were really independent and wanted to stay that way. And together they made a good team and they really went about conquering the world together. They were really well matched. And I'm so sad that he's no longer here. So now my mother would be my priority because I worry about her and I feel like she is the one out of everyone I know and love that would need the most help. So anyway, again, if you have had a dream, I would love to hear about it, especially if it is regarding, something regarding like could be Project Bluebeam or the Second Coming or an alien invasion. I would love to hear your dream, or I would love to hear your thoughts about my dream. I would I'm open to any interpretation because really what I want this channel to be is a nice community where we learn from each other and we grow together and we uplift each other. Anyways, thank you for being here and I will see you next time. Bye.